How do you get referrals without asking awkwardly? That is the topic of this episode. My name is Justin Stoddart, and this is the Built on Referrals podcast. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the podcast that will teach you how to build a modern business on the timeless foundation of relationships. And again, today we're talking about how to get referrals in higher quantity without asking awkwardly. So let me tell you where this came up. I was teaching a group of professionals and they said, man, I see people around me who are getting lots of referrals, a lot more than I am, and I don't know how they're doing it, right? I feel kind of awkward about asking everybody for it, like asking everybody I see, do you have a referral for me? Do you have a referral for me? Oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for your referrals, right? Some people are really good at that. Some really struggle with that. So for those of you that feel like that's awkward, again, we're going to cover that today. So the very first thing that I'm going to teach you on this topic is to lead by example. In other words, be a connector. What a referral is somebody that's actually transferring trust from them, between them and somebody and you. In other words, they're introducing you and their trust is carrying weight, right? That is truly what a referral is. And so if you want that done to you, then the golden rule says you should do it unto others. So my question to you is, of all the people that you're interacting with, the people around you, the people who you're interacting with regularly, the people who you want to be valuable to, are you leading by example? And are you thinking, who can I connect that person to that would be valuable for them? What types of clients and what types of client sources? Because remember, the key is how do you get more referrals from even fewer people, right? So if that is the goal, then I want you to be thinking about those people that can be valuable for you. You might call them upstream partners, right? Who are those people and who do they need to know? And how can you connect to those people and get those two connected, right? When you start to do that, good things will start to happen. People will pay attention to the fact that you are leading by example. And they may ask, who do you need to meet? Then it's a very clear path for you to say, you know what, an ideal client for me or an ideal referral source for me looks like this. Okay, so that's point number one, be an example of it yourself. Okay, point number two is that you might need to ask, right? Because oftentimes those people who get what they want in life are those people who ask. Now, the promise of this show was not to get referrals without asking. It was to get referrals without asking awkwardly. So here's a couple tips on how to do that, okay? Tip number one is to give a genuine compliment in advance, okay? So for example, if you have a client who you love working with, tell them, say, hey, just so you know, if I could fill my life working with clients like you, my career would be even greater than it already is. Like, I would love what I do even so much more because you've just been so fabulous to work with. And as I say that, I want you to know that if you have any friends that are like you, that would be amazing for me to meet them. Because again, working with more people like you would not only make my day, it would make my career. Like, give a genuine compliment. Now, if you don't feel that way, don't say it, right? But if you do feel that way, let people know. Like, there's nothing more endearing than somebody giving a genuine compliment. So give the compliment, and that's a great segue into the fact that, like, saying, hey, and if you know other people like you, that would be an amazing introduction. I would love to be referred to those people. Okay, so that's tip number one. I have a quick question for you. Are you capturing the referral opportunities that are already within reach, or are you letting them slip through the cracks? Take 2 minutes at builtonreferrals.com/referral score. You'll get a referral score out of 100, quick steps to improve, and we'll send you a copy of the Upstream model, both a digital copy and an audio version. Go to builtonreferrals.com/referral score. And here is tip number two. Don't call somebody on the premise that you care about them, only to tack on at the very end some comment that you don't genuinely feel, which is, oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Oftentimes, when you do that, it cheapens what you said before. It's like, oh, I get it. I thought you were calling because you cared about me, but actually you just wanted to ask me for a referral, okay? So be careful about that. Some have mastered that, and some have not. If you feel like that's really awkward because I feel like it cheapens it, number one, you might be overthinking it. But number two, if you're actually coming from a place of genuine care and concern, then you shouldn't feel awkward about it, okay? So here's a way to do that, is that when you call somebody, actually let them know that you're calling them, like, stay on topic. In other words, call them to actually be concerned about them personally. Okay, so that's item number one. Just call people because you care. without having to say, oh, by the way, I'm interested in your referrals, right? Now, when you're calling to get referrals, say, hey, I'm calling today because I have a business question for you, and I'd love to know if, right? And then ask the question. Again, that takes the awkwardness out of it, because when you come in under the premise of I'm calling because I care about you, and then you switch it to say I'm actually calling because I want to get referrals, that's where it gets awkward, okay? So avoid that trap. If there's any awkwardness and you're hesitant of doing that and you're hesitant to call people because you don't want to do that, then don't do that, right? Actually, simply call for personal reasons and or call for business, and announce it up front if you're calling for business reasons. It's okay to say, hey, I'm calling today because I've got a business question for you, right? And let them know that this is why I'm calling. Now, don't always call people for business reasons. Otherwise, again, it cheapens the relationship. But again, those are 2 tips to help you when you are asking. So again, as we recap here, number 1 is that you're going to need to lead by example. Okay. Number 2, give a genuine compliment. And number 3, do not come in pretending to call for one reason when actually you're calling for another reason. People can see right through that. Okay. And at the end of the day, just remember that people who do ask actually get more out of life. So find a way to do this genuinely, truly. And if you do, you'll get more than you don't. Doesn't mean that those of you out there like, I'm not going to ask, I don't want to ask for them. That's okay, but you might get less, especially if you are somebody who can ask in a very genuine, sincere way and be leading by example and just be known as a connector. Those people will dominate. Those people will get a lot of referrals. That's my tip for you today. Go put this into action this week. Again, asking for referrals doesn't have to be awkward. In fact, you can just simply lead by example and have that be what's guiding you to greater success when it comes to getting referrals. Hope this has been helpful. If it has, please share it with a friend. Talk soon, friends. Bye-bye.